That way you can hold the picture.
Whenever the council settles down, maybe we can start. All right, call this meeting to order. Ms. Fazzoni, please call the roll.
Councilman Register,
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Mayor Jarman,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Casto,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember Coburn,
Here.
Mayor Teddemer.
Yes, ma'am. Today's invocation is led by Pastor Adam Cabana with First Church of the Nazarene, Panama City. Please stand.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for another day on your green earth. And Lord, today we ask that you would give us wisdom. As we seek to do business and do things for the city, Lord, give us the wisdom to do the right things. And above all, Lord, to do the things that are according to your will. May we follow you always and never stray. Father, give us guidance and wisdom today. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Today's Pledge of Allegiance is led by Councilman Register. Okay, we're going to move on to community announcements. The summer concert series has started. It got kicked off last Thursday. Today, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. We have Loud Planet, which is 80s rock. I think they've been setting up since Tuesday, so it should be a pretty good show. Next one, and I don't know quite how to pronounce this, so apologize. Boku Grove, which is New Orleans funk, and Blue Eyed Soul. That's going to be on Thursday the 19th. That's our next summer concert series. And then on the 26th is the Lucky Strokes, which is Southern blues funk rock. And our next city council meeting here will also be on the 26th, but it'll be in the morning at 9 a.m. We move on to the approval of the meeting minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Fazzoni, please call roll.
Councilman Register,
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Mayor Jarman,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Casto,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember Coburn,
Yes.
Mayor Teddemer.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, we now move on to approval of agenda and deletions. There can be no additions because this is a special meeting. We do have the meeting schedule in the back. We adjusted this meeting time so people could go to the concerts, and we did that at the beginning of the year. Okay, any additions or any deletions?
Motion to approve. Second.
Ms. Fazzoni?
Councilman Register,
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Mayor Jarman,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Casto,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember Coburn,
Yes.
Mayor Teddemer.
Yes, ma'am. We now move on to public comment on the consent agenda and or non-agenda items. Please come up, state your name, address myself as the chairman or the council as a whole, and please keep it to 3 minutes. Any public comment? I thought you were all going to come up and do some public comment. Come on.
Mayor Teddemer, City Council. My name is Mike Minnick. I live at 101 Windsor Way, and that's in Palmetto Trace. And I'm here tonight just to give some recognition to the Underground Utilities Department. A few weeks ago, our subdivision lost reclaimed water pressure, and you might not think that's a big deal, but when people are watering their yards at 4 or 5 in the morning, they don't know haven't had water on their lawns, until they start seeing it turning brown, which is what happened. So I used to serve on the board of Palmetto Trace, and to this day, people still call me and come and see me. They see me in the yard, and they said, Mike, what's going on? So I made some calls, and they said they were working on it. Well, it still kept continually getting worse. So on the 27th of May, I went up to Public Works and talked to Brian and Nikki. She made a phone call, and before I could get home, there was already people from Underground Utilities there. They worked their tails off the 27th, 28th, and 29th. And on the 30th, which was a Friday when my irrigation comes on, it came on and we were full pressure. But I'd like to recognize the gentlemen and the women that I dealt with during that time, and I think they really need to get a pat on the back for the hard work they did. I know a lot of times people don't get that. They get all the negative stuff, but that's why I'm here tonight. But these are the people that worked their tails off. Josh, Robbie, Ryan, Jake, Ben, Chris, Brian, and Nikki. So, but I also like to say a couple of things. We have a great fire department, great police department, also because I've had dealings with them. My wife was hurt one time, called the fire department. They came to the house, carried her in the house, and got her into bed. I had a police officer that stopped. I had surgery, and I was trying to get a limb cut off my tree, and I was struggling. A police officer stopped, got out of his car, and helped for me to get that limb cut off. So you got a great bunch of workers here. So I just say, keep up the good work. Thank you very much.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay. Further public comment on consent and/or non-agenda business? Any further public comment? Okay. Seeing none, we will move on to the consent agenda. Ms. Vizzani.
Resolution 25-119, a resolution of the City of Panama City Beach, Florida, approving updates to that portion of the Bay County, Florida Local Mitigation Strategy Plan 2025 relating to the city, authorizing city staff to pursue funding opportunities to implement the plan, and providing for continued city participation in future updates and expansion of the plan. Resolution 25-120, a resolution of the City of Panama City Beach, Florida, approving the purchase of right-of-way from Palmetto Hospitality of PCB2 LLC in the total amount of $216,050. Resolution 25-121, a resolution of the City of Panama City Beach, Florida, approving a combined task order and notice to proceed with Guatemala Engineering, Inc. to perform construction, engineering, and inspection services associated with the Clarence Street Corridor Reconstruction Project in an amount not to exceed $232,120, and designating use of the half-cent infrastructure sales tax for that project. Resolution 25-122, a resolution of the City of Panama City Beach, Florida, approving and authorizing the execution of a supplemental agreement relating to funding for the Richard Jackson Boulevard Intersection Improvements Project, Phase 2. Resolution 25-123, a resolution of the City of Panama City Beach, Florida, authorizing the purchase of one clarifier spur gear drive assembly from Walker Process Equipment in an amount not to exceed $99,900. Resolution 25-124, a resolution of the City of Panama City Beach, Florida, approving the purchase of a replacement generator end for the wastewater treatment facility from Thompson Tractor Company, Inc., doing business as Thompson Power Systems, in the total amount of $79,489.59. Resolution 25-125, a resolution of the City of Panama City Beach, Florida, authorizing the city to negotiate an agreement with Civic Plus LLC for website redesign, development, and hosting services.
Okay. Motions?
Motion approved.
Second.
Ms. Vizzani.
Councilman Register,
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Mayor Jarman,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Casto,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember Coburn,
Yes.
Mayor Tettemer.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, we now move on to the regular agenda. Regular agenda item number 1 is ordinance 1660. Mr. Davis.
An
You're looking
ordinance-
good today, Mr. Davis.
What's that?
You're looking good today.
Thanks so
I'd like
much.
to
I
see-
dressed up for
I'd
you
like
guys.
to see.
Ordinance 1660, an ordinance of the City of Panama City Beach, Florida, revising Chapter 10 of the city's Land Development Code related to final plat approval, repealing all ordinances in conflict, providing for severability, scrivener's errors, liberal interpretation, modifications, codification, and providing for an effective date.
Okay, and this is the second reading of this ordinance. Mr. Leonard, or actually, we will accept public comment on agenda item number 1. Any public comment on agenda item number 1? Okay, seeing none, Mr. Leonard, can you help us understand this ordinance, which we passed last week?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This will make the plating process less burdensome, more efficient, since there's no development associated with the request. It's just the division of land. It has to be consistent with the Florida statutes and local ordinances. It does not require it to be a quasi-judicial hearing. And the Planning Board heard this at their May 14th meeting and recommended approval 7-0.
Okay, and I know we discussed this last time, but for folks who are just tuning in for this meeting, when we do these plat realignments, they come up before the board as a quasi-judicial hearing, which is just a lot of overhead. And we essentially, as long as they meet all the requirements, we have to approve it. So
Yes.
this just moves it to an agenda item. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Any questions from the council?
Motion to approve.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Second.
Ms. Pizzoni?
Councilman Register,
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Mayor Jarman,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Casto,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember Coburn,
Yes.
Mayor Tedder,
Yes, ma'am. We move on to agenda item number 2, Resolution 25-126. Mr. Davis.
A resolution of the City of Panama City Beach, Florida, approving an agreement with American Sand and Excavation, Inc., DBA American Sand and Asphalt Paving for the construction of the Clarence Street Corridor Reconstruction Project in the total amount of $2,185,823.22, authorizing a contingency for unforeseen conditions up to $218,582.32, and designating use of the half-cent infrastructure sales tax for the project.
Okay. Any public comment on this item? Any public comment? Okay, seeing none, Mr. Adair, would you be so kind as to come up and help us understand this one?
John Adair, Public Works. Good evening. So this is for the reconstruction of Clarence Street from Middle Beach to Moreland Avenue. It's going to reconstruct the road. It's one of the last remaining F roads in the city. So it'll reconstruct the road, 11-foot travel lanes. It'll have sidewalk on the south side, drainage improvements. So yeah, we're looking to get started and hope to deliver you a brand new road.
And if I recall, just for some context, the city, Drew, do you remember when we did the road grading?
2017, we just ordered a new one 2 meetings ago.
Okay, so in 2017, this council asked all the roads to be graded in an A through F scale.
Yes, sir.
And the Public Works Department has been going through and reconstructing those roads, mostly using half-cent sales tax. And so this is our last remaining F road.
Second to last.
Second to last remaining F road.
Right, so we
Okay.
have one more, and that's planned to go in fiscal year '26 for the resurfacing there. It's got
Okay.
some drainage improvements and things like that, but I think we can get away, or get through with milling and resurfacing it. So, but we're evaluating that now.
Okay. And this project also went through the half-cent sales tax committee as well.
No, they're just an oversight.
Yeah,
committee.
yeah.
So they come after you guys. You guys approve, they go behind and make sure that we spend it the way you told us to spend
Okay.
it.
All right.
It's been a long time coming, John. When I
Yes,
was
sir.
Public Works Director, we started trying to get this road done, and we're finally there. So
We're here.
It's been
Yeah.
8 or 10 years, been a while.
It needed it back then, so.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Really needs it today. I use that shortcut a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, Councilman, how long have you been working for this road?
30 years.
Long time. There's a lot of pedestrian traffic walks that road at night too, so it's very, gonna help the safety of that corridor.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Do we have an idea when the grading will be done?
The whole project be done November, December.
Not the project, but the road grading. We put that out, haven't we?
The
To have
road-
the
Oh,
roads
oh.
regrade, or, yeah,
Oh.
reevaluate, I
Like-
should say.
Like
There
A
we
through
go.
F grade.
Yeah.
We need
Yeah,
another,
that terminology is interchangeable for what I just
yeah,
said.
yeah,
So,
we need
yeah.
another word for that.
Right, we're experimenting with some new technologies, to go out. It's a laser that scans the road, so it hopefully will go pretty fast. But honestly, between doing the analysis, and it's not just the roads we're getting signs, and we're getting sidewalks, and we're getting, curbs. We're getting everything, basically, whatever the laser can see. So I'm hoping somewhere between 6 months and a year, but I would say a year on the long term. But
Okay.
the idea is we have the last round of projects, queued up for '26, for the resurfacing, and then we'll have the new PCI study to program going forward from there.
Okay, so hopefully before, not this year's budget, but following budget.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Excellent, thank you.
And Mr. Dare, what's the last, after this road's done, what's the remaining F road?
Cedar Hammock is the last road.
Okay, yeah. All right. Any further questions or discussion from the council?
No, great job, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Dare.
Thank you. Thanks, John.
Okay.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Ms. Pizzoni?
Councilman Register,
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Mayor Jarman,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Casto,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember Coburn,
Yes.
Mayor Tedder,
Yes, ma'am. We move on to regular agenda item number 3, which is Resolution 25-127. Mr. Davis?
A resolution of the City of Panama City Beach, Florida, authorizing additional contingency funds for change orders to the city's agreement with CWR Contracting, Inc. for the construction of the Front Beach Road Segment 3 project to address unforeseen conditions in an amount not to exceed $500,000.
Okay. We will accept public comment for this item. No public comment on segment 3, okay. Mr. Adair.
You didn't get far.
Yeah.
Good evening, council again. John Adair, Public Works. Segment 3, I think you guys have seen that we've made a lot of progress in the last few months. I really have to thank our new CRA managers, DRMP. They've been an excellent help. We see the light at the end of the tunnel. What's before you is a contingency amount to try to get us to the end so we can keep moving rapidly and so we can make, decisions and, approve the changes in the field so that there's no delays and so we can open this road as quick and, as fast as possible. And I would like to introduce you to DRMP, okay. And they will go into a little bit more detail, but
John, before you step off.
Yes, sir.
But just for folks who don't speak city government, what is segment 3?
Okay, so segment 3 is right outside of City Hall here. It's 79 to the roundabout, and then legs east and west, to Winn-Dixie and to Low Water Lake.
Okay, all right. Yep, come on up.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. My name is Donald Stanley with DRMP. This is Elizabeth Graham, and we're the new CRA managers. And we're here to answer any questions you may have regarding the contingency amount that we're requested to add to the budget.
Yeah, so it's a decent amount of money. What's the goal of this? I know we all want segment 3 done.
Yes, sir. We're drawing very near the completion, and there's some outstanding items that we'll need to complete to get the job done. There's some forthcoming change orders we're in the process of working through and negotiating with the contractor. And there are also some change orders that will come out repairing the utility damage to the concrete work that's been down out there. So as we move forward with the progression of the project, this contingency, with your approval, will allow the city manager to execute those change orders and not have to wait to get back before you on the next agenda. So we can keep the job moving rapidly and keep them on schedule.
Okay. And what remains to be done for segment 3?
Next week, Monday night, the plan is to start putting the friction down on 79 and the west end. We're still working.
What does that mean, the friction?
The top course of the asphalt, I'm sorry. Okay. Once we get that and the roundabout done, we'll open that up to traffic. That should be through by the end of next week, I think, putting the friction down. Week and a half putting the friction down. And then we'll continue trying to hammer out the sidewalk and all the other items on the east end and try to get that friction down as expeditiously as we can. Okay. Once that's complete, all the utility conduit is in and the utility owners are out there in the process of moving their lines in underground. And once they have those lines in, they'll have to go through there and make those terminations and make those connections to the residents and the buildings. So once all that is complete, we'll come through and we'll pull all the power poles and finish the lighting for the project.
But once the friction's done, at least from public perception, the road will be substantially done. We just have to finish those poles.
Yes, sir, significantly. It'll look a lot different in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Cones are gonna be gone?
Sir?
Will the cones be gone once the friction's done?
Yeah, on 79 and on the west end. We're still working on the east end, trying to finalize that. And the next week and a half, the friction, the top course of asphalt, again, will be only for the roundabout, 79 and the west end.
Yeah.
So.
And it will be striped into final configuration, so
Okay.
it will look substantially different.
Right. And how much longer on the east leg?
Until we put the friction down, that's the question of the day, isn't it? I anticipate, speaking with the utility people, hopefully 6 months, trying to wrap up the project. As far as putting the friction down on the east end,
Yeah, they're hoping to shift the traffic in 2 to 3 weeks so that they can then build out the median there and put it into final configuration, and then they'll just have friction left. So I would say 2 months.
Hey, could you get a little bit closer to the microphone?
Yes, sorry. I would say about 2 months.
Okay.
6 months for utilities, roughly.
Yeah, so just to be clear, especially for the public, the utility poles is what we're talking about for absolute complete finalization. But the road on the east end, when are we anticipating the road being done?
Yeah, the roadway, I would anticipate within 2 months. I was saying that they're anticipating shifting traffic in 2 to 3 weeks so that they can then construct the median,
Yep.
which is the traffic separator curb. And then they'll be able to come back and put the friction layer down, the last lift of asphalt down.
Okay, so once all the asphalt's down, those cones are gonna be gone, and then we just have those poles. We have the rest of the utilities and the poles.
And then everything else is just conduit work.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
So we're mid-August before we get to that point. Where segment
Yes.
3
Till
is.
till the road is completely open to traffic.
Segment
Yes, sir.
Okay,
You
So we're
got-
talking segment 3 in its entirety, and it's exciting to get the west side done and everything, but it's segment 3. So I want to make sure when we speak about segment 3, we're including the east side, because that's part of the project.
Yes.
yeah, it's a major neighborhood, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I want to give those people their peace of mind of what they can look forward to, so.
Okay.
I hope you guys have exceptional relationships with utility companies.
Have we had, how many utility companies have already pulled down off the poles on north-south 79? Do we know that?
So, no one has pulled off. FPL is planning on being energized by the first week of July. Then they'll have to pull off. They have to wait for FPL
Yeah.
to de-energize the lines because it's a safety issue
Okay.
before they can pull. But at this point, WOW and AT&T have pulled their
Committed.
lines. So they're ready to pull off when FPL pulls.
Okay.
Fantastic. Well, thank
Okay.
you, guys.
So,
Thank you.
just to reiterate, we're looking August for the road to look substantially done, and then it'll be several more months in addition to finish those poles, but the cones will be gone, the roads will be laid, it'll look,
Striped.
it'll be striped, it'll be open, and we just gotta finish out those poles.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
By Labor Day weekend, we're moving up and down that segment
Yeah,
3.
y'all keep hitting August. I don't want to sit here and act like, we're promising the world to y'all, so.
We just want a realistic timeline. I just want
Oh,
to
yeah.
be able to
Yeah.
articulate it to our constituents, what they're looking
Okay.
for. So, I mean, be straightforward with us. I'd like to know, so that way when those
Yeah, that
questions
would
come.
be, we would think that it's going to be August, but obviously there's, weather delays.
Sure.
And, as soon as I know that they're pushing to get done.
Right,
So,
Okay.
absolutely.
So, other than weather delays, because I know there was a lot of difficulty with the undergrounding, what other potential challenges do you see with getting the road opened?
Only weather at this point.
Yeah.
That's
It's
the
only
thing.
weather at
Yes,
this
sir.
point, so,
Yeah, get the road,
as long as the weather cooperates, we're looking that couple-month time frame. If there's not a big, we're gonna find a, gas.
All the digging has been
Yeah,
done.
all the digging's
Digging is
done.
done.
That's
every-
correct,
all the,
yes.
all the
Yeah,
question
all the
marks are
digging.
done. It's just whether the weather cooperates.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Pronounce that a little bit better, I guess. Okay. Further questions from the council?
Yes,
Question?
are you
Okay.
guys planning on, putting temporary striping for a while? Or you gonna go right into the permanent thermoplastic, or how long we gonna sit there with temporary striping? And
So they'll put down the final, we call it a final striping lift. It's temporary striping, but it's in the final configuration. Thermoplastic usually is 14 days cure time on friction. And so they'll probably wait for the east end to be paved, give it a 14 days, and then do thermal and everything.
within 2 or 3 weeks after you put the friction course down, you'll have thermoplastic down there, probably.
After
Well,
the east end is
east-
done.
After the east end's done, yeah.
Because they won't want to pull their sub in to come do it twice.
All at once.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Council member?
Yes, how will putting down this friction affect the businesses along the corridor? Will they still be able to get their customers to their businesses?
It will be all night work.
Okay,
Tentatively 6 to 6 is what we're planning on working.
Yes.
I want
so-
to speak on the
At night,
maintenance traffic.
they're just doing a lane closure, so their plan is to come down and do the inside lanes first that are already closed off. And then they will switch traffic over at night and just have a lane closure in the outside lanes of 79 to do those. The only time there will be a significant traffic impact is when they do the roundabout. It should only take a couple hours in one shift to do. And there'll be a detour put in place because you won't be able to go eastbound on Front Beach Road, but there will be a detour that every access should remain open.
Okay, and are you keeping contact with the residents and the businesses along that corridor to make sure they're informed as to when this work's gonna take place?
Yeah, the city is, correct? John?
I mean, we've been
Yeah,
doing a lot of
yes.
really good
Yeah.
outreach, I
Yeah,
just
John-
don't want
John,
that
if
to
you
fall
could
through the
speak to that.
cracks.
Sure. So, talk about moving rapidly. The road closure was just sent to us this afternoon, so we've submitted it to Drew's office for final approval and administrative approval. Once that's done, then we can notify the residents. So, we got, as you guys know, we got ABC on board for communication. They've reached out, we've already made contact, and so I will be reaching out to them to let them know, as soon as it's approved, we'll send out the notifications to all the residents and businesses in the area.
Okay, great, thank you. I just want to make sure we stay on top of that.
Yeah, so it probably came in, the request for it came in maybe an hour ago. So we're moving fast.
Good.
Yep.
Hey, when
We
those come in,
want-
that's great. So that means work's about to be done.
Yeah.
Just real quick, and if I'm correct, friction actually goes down pretty quick once you putting that top layer down. Once they start mobilizing and doing the friction, what's that time frame to be done with, say, north-south 79?
They're anticipating a week and a half of paving.
Okay.
Okay. Also, and John and Drew know about this, we've had several complaints. People think that's the final grade on the road, and there's some, I call them bird bass, but they're puddles. And I think if they get their final grade right, it'll go into the storm drains there. But you probably know where I'm talking about. One of them's right here at Parenzo, and the other one's a little south of there. But we don't want them to have to come back and dig it up because we still got some mud or some puddles out there.
Yes, sir.
They're there now, so.
We were contacted about that and went last week and took a look at it, and we have work in progress to correct that, and we'll make sure it's taken care of before we put friction in.
Perfect.
And just so we're clear, it's because we're below grade right now before the final. And so there's just
Yes,
some
sir.
challenges right there. And, I know you guys just took over this project. We had Coradino leave, and so we're kind of hitting you pretty hard initially, but.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. The public is, and we are eagerly anticipating the completion of segment 3. And so, I know it's
Understood.
always tough to talk
Understood,
timelines
yeah.
in terms of construction, but just being clear about what the risks are to the timeline is very helpful. If the risks are just weather and we don't anticipate, or there's nothing else where everything else has been de-risked, that's very helpful to know.
I'm not gonna say that there's no risks. Sorry.
I said
There's
de-risked.
plenty of risks.
De-risked, yeah. Thank you, Counselor.
There's always risk.
Keeping us legal. Okay, further discussion from the council?
No.
Oh, Mr. Stanley, Ms. Gray, welcome aboard.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Okay, and
Looking for a motion? Motion to approve?
Second.
Ms. Vizzoni, please call roll.
Councilman Register,
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Mayor Jarman.
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Casto,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember Coburn,
Yes,
Mayor Tadema.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, next up, Resolution 25-128. This is agenda item 4. Mr. Davis.
A resolution of the City of Panama City Beach, Florida, approving and ratifying expenditures under existing agreements with Ferguson Waterworks, Core and Main LP, and Fortiline Inc. for the purchase of miscellaneous brass fittings, meter boxes, and appurtenances for the Utilities Department, and approving expenditures in an amount not to exceed $270,000 for the remainder of fiscal year 2025.
Okay, any public comment for this item? Seeing none, Mr. Whitman, you wanted to speak on that?
Yes, sir. Back in January of 2024, the council approved Resolution 24-63, going into approving a contract with Ferguson Waterworks, Core Main, and Fortiline for the equipment for the meter box and the brass fittings. You approved the contracts, but we never asked for the expenditure of the funds, so we're trying to ratify the expenditures we've done over the last year and then approving an additional spend of $270,000 to get us through the rest of the budget year. We just missed that step last year, so it's ratifying and approving the purchase of $270 to finish out this fiscal year.
Okay, and so we're just approving the funds here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Questions from the council?
Motion approved.
Second.
Ms. Fazzoni?
Councilman Register,
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Mayor Jarman.
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Casto,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember Coburn,
Yes.
Mayor Tettemer.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, now we move on to the city manager report.
No report tonight, sir.
No report, okay. City attorney report.
Yes, I have three things. First off, one of the five of you won an award recently, and we did not celebrate that award. Mayor Tettemer was actually awarded by the Florida League of Cities the Home Rule Hero Award for his work on behalf of the city during the legislative session. And so I wanted to acknowledge the hard work that he did and the hard work that the city does to protect home rule and to advocate before our legislature. So just wanted to give him kudos. We didn't ever mention that out here, and so I thought that was worth noting.
You're supposed to bring these up during our one-on-ones. Okay.
There's no fun in that. So the other, and then also you have two board appointments that are up for appointment. One of them is on the Tourist Development Council. Michael Jansen, who is previously your collector position, has retired from his employer St. Joe. And so there's a vacancy there that has to be filled by a collector. By that I mean a representative of someone who collects the bed tax. And then your current position on the one of your appointments on the airport board, Mr. Les McFadder, is up for reappointment. He's finishing his first term. He is eligible for another term. He has indicated his desire to serve another term. According to the rules of procedure, we either advertise this for 2 weeks, or you can tell us to do it a different way. And so I'm here to get your direction on those two appointments.
Well, I mean, I talked to Les, and he's going for a leadership position on this one. He has really emphasized his desire to get intra-Florida flights, which I think we all want from that airport. So, I mean, we can go through the process, or I'd be happy to just renominate him.
That's fine with me.
Fine with me too. I've known Les for 20 years, and he's already plugged in, and they're doing a great job, so.
Yeah, I think we've got a great board with some good momentum. Obviously, we've seen a lot of great things in the news about the airport lately, so I want to keep those guys and that momentum going, so I'm good with that.
Do we need a motion to approve Les McFadden to the airport board reappoint?
Well, this is a special meeting.
Oh, okay.
So as much as your sentiment is wonderful direction, I think we would still probably put this on the next agenda for appointment.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I just don't want to get
Yeah.
out of compliance with our.
I didn't know if it was, since it's an administrative thing, but,
You're still taking action.
Okay.
So I just, better safe than sorry.
Okay, yeah.
all right.
Fine with
Then I agree. Let's put it on the next agenda,
All right, sounds good.
as well as the TDC appointment.
So, but let me be clear, you don't want to advertise the airport board because there's a consensus to reappoint Mr. McFadden.
Yeah.
So
That is correct.
gives us direction. And then on the TDC, we can,
Yeah, for TDC, I mean, you guys just want to do your own nominees?
That's fine.
Yeah,
With me.
seemed to work pretty well last time.
Yeah, that's what we've done in the past, yeah.
Yeah.
So we can definitely do that. So we'll nominate next meeting or this meeting?
so
Next
each of you will be entitled to nominate someone that you'll deliver to Ms. Fasoni at some point in time. I think I can't remember last time what the
Friday
timeline
at
was.
4 o'clock, next Friday at 4 o'clock.
There you go.
For the agenda.
According to Mr. Whitman. And
That's what we
then,
did last time.
and then you'll
Yeah.
vote on whoever gets submitted as nominees.
The
Does that work?
nominations due by next Friday at
Actually-
4 o'clock, and then we just vote on it like we did.
So we don't hold up the agenda, could we get it at 4 o'clock on Thursday? Because we try to do the packet on Friday, and I don't want her waiting at 4 o'clock to try to finish it.
So
We do
Thursday
Thursday at 4 o'clock, please, if that works for all of you.
Works for me,
works for me.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's fine with me.
absolutely.
Okay,
Okay.
So that's clear
That's
direction.
it. That's all I
All
got.
right.
all right. Great, now we move on to council comments. Councilman Casto, you want to start?
Nothing from me, Mayor.
Okay, Councilman Register,
Nothing from me.
okay.
Nothing for me.
I don't want to break the trend, so nothing from me.
I feel like I had something. I feel like I had something. I mean, really, just enjoy the concert. You know, I will say that at 6 p.m., the Dolly Pirates Voyage is having a show, so maybe if you're going here, maybe not Back Beach is the best route. And I just wanted to emphasize, because we have a couple of special meetings coming up. So, and this was approved, I said in January, this was actually approved in December 12th last year. So July 10th is going to be another one of these special meetings that we've moved to 5 p.m. And then this one, particularly August 12th, that's normally a Thursday meeting, but we will all be in the League of Cities Conference, annual conference. So that's going to be a Tuesday meeting at 9 a.m. And again, this is posted on the city website. It's on the back, but I just wanted to make sure to emphasize it, and we'll keep repeating this so that we have more than an adequate public notice on this. I mean, we already have adequate public notice, but again, July 10th, that's a 5 p.m. meeting instead of the normal time, and then it'll be, instead of August 14th, it'll be an August 12th special meeting at 9 a.m. With that, I just really appreciate everyone. This was a very special meeting. Thank you, and I will see you next time, which is 9 a.m. Thursday, the 26th. This meeting is adjourned.